So, what if I told you there's a place where you've got, like, ancient supercomputers meeting Carnatic beats?
Okay.
And filter coffee comes with this side of really deep philosophy, and temples are literally reaching for the stars.
Sounds like a bit of a riddle.
It does, right. But it's actually very real. Welcome to Tamil Nadu. People often call it the time machine of India.
A time machine. Interesting way to put it.
Yeah, I mean, here it feels like every old stone is whispering some story, and honestly, every dosa seems to come with a bit of deep thought on the side.
Right.
But, don't let that ancient charm fool you completely. This isn't just about timeless traditions. Tamil Nadu also has space launches, these really captivating ghost towns, amazing hill stations that honestly could be somewhere in Europe.
Oh, wow.
And temples aligned in ways that make you question, what they really knew back then.
Okay, so a real mix of old and new.
Exactly. And stick with us right to the end, because we're going to talk about a beach where time quite literally froze.
Okay, sounds fascinating. So in this deep dive, what we're trying to do essentially is cut through all the noise,
Right.
give you really concise but still rich understanding of this incredibly, well, multifaceted place. We've looked through the sources you sent on Tamil Nadu to pull out the most surprising bits, the core ideas, really offering you a shortcut to getting properly informed.
Yeah, and we're going to walk you through some really incredible stuff we found. I mean, temples that almost seem to, anticipate modern physics.
Right, and that poignant drowned city you mentioned, just frozen in time.
Exactly.
We'll dig into the mythical Rama Setu, that bridge, and the kind of intriguing scientific angles some sources bring up.
Oh, yeah, the satellite images.
And of course, the whole filter coffee ritual, the wisdom that comes with it, and we'll whisk you away to those beautiful Queen of Hill.
Plural, Queens of Hills.
Yeah.
And we'll also uncover, the birthplace of these cosmic dancers, that link between really ancient devotion and cutting-edge space rockets.
Yeah, that contrast is amazing. And the soul of rural Tamil Nadu, too.
Definitely.
And finally, we'll touch on that deep, deep pride that Tamil people have, their connection to their language, their legacy. It really shapes who they are.
Okay, so this journey to the time machine,
Yeah.
it really has to start where history is literally carved in stone. The temples.
Makes sense.
So take the Chidambaram temple. Some sources we looked at suggest it's super intricate cosmic geometry built ages ago, was designed reflecting ancient Indian cosmological ideas so precisely that, well, some modern folks see parallels to space and time way before Einstein.
Which is incredible. It makes you really reconsider how sophisticated ancient knowledge might have been.
Absolutely.
And then you have something like the Brihadeeswarar Temple. I mean, it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, over 1,000 years old.
Right.
And the engineering is just phenomenal. That main tower, the Vimana, famously, its shadow doesn't fall on the ground at noon.
How is that even possible?
It's still debated. A perplexing feat. It makes you wonder, what was the driving force? Just showing off architectural skill or something deeper, astronomical, maybe spiritual?
I think it has to be that blend, right? That mix of everything. And then there's the Meenakshi Temple in Madurai.
Oh, yeah.
It's so vast, so intricate. Honestly, its towers, they make Game of Thrones castles look, a bit like Lego.
Huh. That's a good way to put it. The sheer detail is mind-boggling.
Especially that legendary 1,000-pillar hall. Just imagine the stories in there. But, just as these huge structures last, other places are tragically lost.
Right, like that city you mentioned earlier, the one that drowned.
Exactly, Dhanushkodi. It used to be a really busy port town. Then in 1964, this massive cyclone just wiped it out overnight.
Wow.
And ever since, it's just stayed there. Frozen. You can walk around, see broken railway stations, bits of homes.
That must be incredibly eerie.
It is. There's this, unsettling silence, and the road just ends.
Yeah.
Right where the ocean begins.
Beautiful, but unsettling, like you said, like walking through a memory.
Yeah. And just nearby, there's another place, completely wrapped in myth. This floating bridge idea from ancient stories.
Ah, Ramswaram.
Right, where Lord Rama supposedly built a bridge to Lanka in the epics.
Which sounds purely mythological, of course, but then you have the NASA satellite images.
Showing that underwater ridge, Adam's Bridge, they call it sometimes.
Exactly. And it makes you think, doesn't it, how these ancient stories like the Rama Setu seem to bump up against things we can actually see today. Did you notice that elsewhere in the sources? That mix of myth and maybe, real phenomena?
Oh, absolutely. It comes up again and again. And in Ramaswamy itself, that Ramanathaswamy temple, it's got Asia's longest corridor, and get this, 22 holy wells. And each one, supposedly, has water that tastes different.
22 different tastes? Seriously?
That's what they say. It makes you wonder, was it some ancient water testing, classifying minerals, or something else? Science or sorcery, right?
Fascinating. Okay, let's shift gears a bit to something maybe a little more caffeinated.
Huh. Filter coffee.
Yes. In Tamil Nadu, it's really not just a drink, is it? It's a whole cultural ritual.
Totally. Brewed in brass, served with that specific flourish.
Yep.
And, yeah, often feels like it comes steeped in wisdom.
You know, you can genuinely find these little roadside tea stalls.
The best ones.
And get more solid life advice, more interesting conversation than maybe at some big seminar.
Absolutely. And word of warning. Adding sugar to someone's filter coffee without asking, that's practically grounds for war, or at least a very passionate discussion.
Noted. Okay, so from those lively coffee debates, let's go somewhere completely different, up into the hills.
Ah, yes. Tamil Nadu's Queens of Hills. The air changes completely up there.
Ooty and Kodaikanal, they really are like these crown jewels up in the clouds. A cool escape. Almost feels a bit European.
But without the Swiss visa price tag.
Exactly. And what really grabs you, I think, are those little toy trains zigzagging through tunnels.
Oh, I love those.
And the little chocolate factories, often run by local grandmas, which is just charming. And the lakes. So still, they look like mirrors. Makes you kind of question reality.
Perfect for just thinking or, yeah, maybe falling in love amidst all that mist.
Definitely has that vibe. Speaking of profound experiences, though, Thanjavur.
Right. A city where creativity just seems to be in the air. They say every kid there learns either music or math, often both.
It's the birthplace of Bharatanatyam, that classical dance form.
And the Nataraja, the cosmic dancer icon.
Yeah, the Nataraja. It embodies this really deep philosophical idea, doesn't it? The universe constantly being created and destroyed.
Like quantum physics in motion, some might say.
Well, conceptually, yeah. While obviously not literal science from back then, the way this ancient art depicts a dynamic, changing universe, it has these intriguing echoes of modern physics. It's a surprising connection between art and, well, cosmic theories.
And then there's that belief, that the gods are somehow actually inside the bronze statues as this whole other mystical layer.
It does. Now, if you're thinking Tamil Nadu is just about the ancient past, prepare for a bit of whiplash.
Ah, good way to put it.
Because just a few hours away from these incredibly sacred ancient temples, you find ISRO's propulsion complex.
Yeah, the Indian Space Research Organization in Mahendragiri, launching rockets into orbit.
It's such a stark contrast, isn't it? But it really shows how in Tamil Nadu, science and spirituality aren't always separate boxes. They often intertwine, they inform each other.
You really see it. You might literally see priests blessing satellites right next to engineers chanting mantras before a launch countdown.
Right.
It's just vivid proof that tradition and modernity can absolutely be roommates,
Definitely. And if you really want to find maybe the soul of Tamil Nadu, you've got to get out of the cities.
Oh, for sure. Into the villages.
That's where you see these ancient ways of life. Just beautifully preserved, people cooking over firewood, hearing folk songs that have been passed down like heirlooms. There's this real sense of community. One thing we found in the sources was how stories aren't just told. The folk songs are like living archives.
That's amazing. And the food. Okay, seriously. If you, listening, have never had a proper banana leaf meal.
Oh, you're missing out.
You really are. Maybe served by a smiling Natha that's like Grandpa. It just redefines hospitality and flavor. Honestly, it'll ruin other food for you.
Huh. Probably true.
Yeah.
But we also have to acknowledge these traditional ways, they're facing challenges.
Yeah, that's the reality too. Climate change is hitting hard, plastic pollution, people moving away.
Right. These big modern pressures. It does make you wonder how these ancient ways will adapt, how they'll survive.
It's a crucial question. But despite all that, the Tamil pride is immense, and rightly so.
Their language, it's one of the world's oldest living languages, right? Older than Latin.
Older than Latin.
Yeah.
And their epic literature, just so rich, so enduring.
And you see their passion. It feels, well, unstoppable sometimes.
Yeah, whether it's defending Jallikattu, that traditional bull taming event, which is huge culturally, or painstakingly reviving ancient scripts, or meticulously keeping those complex Carnatic ragas alive. This is a culture that just refuses to go quietly.
It's clear Tamil Nadu isn't just like a museum of history. It's alive. It's shaping the future, too, blending that tradition with this relentless progress.
Exactly. And you, our listener, you're invited right into the heart of it.
Yeah, because Tamil Nadu, it really isn't just a place on a map, is it? It feels more like an emotion.
A living
museum, yeah, but also a rhythm, a kind of quiet rebellion, a constant resurrection.
That's beautifully put.
So whether you imagine yourself sipping that amazing filter coffee in Madurai, or maybe chasing clouds up in Udi, you're stepping into something incredibly ancient, but also so vibrantly alive. It's always changing.
So true. And look, if your explorer heart is still beating a bit faster after all this, just know there's always more. We've really only scratched the surface.
Always more to discover.
Definitely. Maybe consider joining us for our next deep dive. We're heading into Himachal Pradesh next time.
Ah, the mountains.
Yeah, a place where they say gods still walk, and the air just smells like pine and, well, possibilities.
Sounds like another adventure.
It will be. You can find that next deep dive and others right after this. And maybe just take a moment, reflect on what surprising connections you picked up on today. That blend of ancient and modern in Tamil Nadu. It's quite something, isn't it?